Good evening, everyone. Hope you're doing well. Thank you very much for joining. Hope you're having a pleasant evening. It's just gone 8 p.m. here, Tuesday. And as you can see, in some pretty savage drawdown. These trades have been fluctuating heavily in profit. I think the highest was plus 14k. This is now some of the worst of it. A lot of money gone in swap fees as well. 1.5 grand. It has been a painful hold, but we're going to talk about it, go through the trades, discuss them together. Hope you guys are doing well. All things, everything else being considered. No, Stephen. It's separate. Right, so to discuss the reasoning behind the NAS 100 position, first of all, we can get rid of all the existing analysis, and then I will take the market back to when the entry was taken and why the entry was taken. So here is the here is the overall structure. The first thing we can do is just mark out some of the most important support and resistance levels. 25,150. I always like to use psychological price levels, so whole numbers in the price. Let me know how you guys are doing, if you're in any active positions right now. GBP CAD trade, looking promising so far. Good evening, Akeem. So, just going through the most relevant support and resistance levels here. There we go. That's all done now. And I just want you to pay attention to the trend here, the trend structure. So, is the price performing a series of higher highs and higher lows, or lower lows and lower highs? Okay, so just looking at the big picture here, we always have to appreciate the macro side of things. We can see that the price has been stuck in a consolidation phase, with the lower end of that range being around 24,350 and the upper range being 25,900. Dropping down to the daily, I would say that the key factor here that prompted us looking for the short position was the formation of this low. Okay, because if we look at the structure prior, we can see the price forming a series of higher highs and higher lows. Okay, so the price was in an upwards trend. We can do wick to wick, we can do candle body to candle body. Okay, so at this trend line now, once the price breaks the bullish sequence here, we got the formation of the low. And then, as you guys know, it's very simple from here to apply the Fibonacci tool from the sell-off, from the lower high, as the price drops into that low. And then this is going to be the key area to look for shorts. We can also apply the anchored VWAP to the start of the sell-off. Then we drop to the 12-hour. Well, we need to go now to the 4-hour chart. So the price, this gray zone that we drew between 25,150 and 25,400 was that kind of critical short area that I've just highlighted. And then looking at this on what was the entry time frame, the 4-hour, there's another downwards trend line that's coming in here. I am finding these to be pretty helpful at the moment for some strange reason. I never really used to like trend lines very much, but they seem to be serving me quite well at the moment. So if you take into consideration what I was just describing on the higher time frames, how we determined this gray zone and this long-term upwards trend line that broke, that the price then came back to retest, and also forming this shorter term but still powerful downwards trend line, and the inflection point, the meeting point, the intersection of those two lines was essentially the perfect short entry. So maybe with that, it paints a clearer picture as to why I'm actually in this trade, why I have a certain level of conviction behind it. And then if we take into consideration the current fundamental narrative, software, tech stocks are suffering at the moment. There is an AI disruption narrative going on, fears of mass job loss due to AI automation. And that's causing a significant sell-off in the NAS 100 and technology markets. IBM crashed 13% yesterday, I believe. A lot of selling off in software. So that's also the fundamental reason behind this short, is that the US tech market is suffering from some bad publicity at the moment. So that's what the trade looks like at entry. Let me know what you think, if you have any questions about that. But then we take it to present day. There was some really nice progress made initially, and since then we've been stuck in an unfortunate patch of consolidation here. Let me know what your thoughts are on that. To look at Euro USD, good evening, everyone. Hello, Barry and Paul. Trump's State of the Union speech happening right now, although he hasn't started yet. I thought he was speaking at 2 a.m. Is it something different? There's some FOMC people speaking. Yeah, it says 2 a.m. our time. Is that incorrect? Let me know. To break down the Euro USD long position, the trade was taken from this higher low here. We'll bring it back to the time of the entry, and I'll construct the chart in the same way as we did for the NAS 100 trade. Now this one, I think the most obvious or the most key time frame in my considerations was the daily time frame. So we'll start with the most important support and resistance levels again. I mistook the time zone for GMT. Nas weekly could flip bullish a few wicks to the downside. Well, I hope not, but we have yet to see. Nvidia earnings is tomorrow, which I think is going to be very significant on the market. Okay, so this is the Euro USD, the daily chart. We can see quite clearly there was a breakout high or a higher high that formed. Applying the fib there. Now, in my opinion, that's one of the nicest long areas you could generally hope for. As well as that, on the 4-hour chart, there was the double bottom here. So this is why the entry was taken. Let me know what you think about this one, if you would have taken the same trade. I think it was quite clear. Structurally, it's really nice, in my opinion. Then we bring it to present time, and you can see that nothing very constructive has actually happened here. Still holding on, just about. I don't have too much faith or conviction, to be completely honest. But still there. EU 2-hour currently inverse head and shoulders forming 2. That is true. Roughly. We'll see. I think a lot of it is contingent on what the dollar index does here. Have been looking for a lower high to form and sell off. Hasn't happened just yet though. We need some kind of catalyst. There isn't any real. I mean, I don't think this. It does say high impact, but I'm not sure how high impact it will be. Thursday unemployment claims, Friday PPI. So yeah, the real kind of catalysts are Thursday and Friday. It's probably when we'll see them the most movement. We've been banking on the dollar weakness, which for some reason it's not doing. Yeah. Well, that's kind of that's the issue here, is it's staying within this this pivotal area in the market where it can either flip bullish or bearish here. We did get that sell-off initially. The prices recovered again. There are so many like fundamental variables at play that could affect the dollar as well. It's a miracle that this is still not in our favor, in my opinion. But that was the Euro USD breakdown. Let me know if you have any questions, if you have any, I don't know, if you would have done something differently. To recap the analysis that was sent today, this was provided to the VIP service on the Discord and the mentorship. The inverse head and shoulders from GBP USD has begun to push away here and is actually offering a nice opportunity for a safer re-entry here. This is now on the hourly chart, which speaks to the accuracy of the entry. But there's a really nice higher low here. I'm going to be watching this. I do want to, of course, end up closing something before I open any more positions, but I do like this. Worth keeping an eye on this higher low to form on GBP USD. For those in GA, AUD red folder at 12:30 tonight. Thanks, Barry. When you've gone through the usual pairs, can you do gold? Sure. So, yeah, I wanted to discuss the three markets that were sent out today, that were analyzed in today's London session. The first pair is GBP USD here. Initially, we were looking for this push because we had anticipated an inverse head and shoulders. It's a slightly disjointed one. It's not as symmetrical as I would typically like to see, but it was still there. We had the sell-off forming the left shoulder, neck, head, neckline, right shoulder, and this is where the price was. You can see 8 a.m., 9 a.m. this morning, which is when we were doing the London session stream. So that was the initial projection, the push up, and now it's presenting with a re-entry opportunity here. GBP CAD was in a similar scenario. We also forecasted an inverse head and shoulders, sell off to the left shoulder, neckline, head, neckline, right shoulder, and this one has actually had a stronger move today and is also now printing a nice re-entry opportunity too. So far we are 2 for 3, or well, 2 for 2 of the trades from this morning. Not that I actually executed any of them, but I'm bogged down with these ones. But that's GBP CAD and then GBP AUD as well. So 3 for 3. This one had a very intricate inverse head and shoulders. Left shoulder, there's multiple structural points here. But that also had a very strong response today. Did anyone take any of these trades? Also providing a re-entry opportunity. So really, really nice move there. Nothing that I was able to capitalize on as well. I got some pips from GA, but closed before the drop. Didn't want to hold through AUD news. Was a little late into GC. Background entry now, so no worries. Yeah, the retracement has been a bit sharp on these, I guess. A quick turnaround there. Okay, looking at the rest of the markets. I don't know if it's just me, but these US dollar ones just have not been really speaking to me. We discussed Euro USD already. Gold. This was our long. Just that's a funny chat message. OMG minus 8K again. You still believe in this strategy, my friend? That is insignificance in comparison to what's happening on the big picture. You need to learn to see it from the wider perspective. This account alone has gone from 150k to what you see now. So what we're seeing here is, well, that's just the context. There are some very interesting market conditions right now, and I will admit it is quite difficult to navigate. But there's, like these same positions have been up 14k as well. So it's really, you can't be looking at it like that really. But to discuss gold, this was the break and retest level that we'd always been watching for. So long, really. This strategy made me thousands in the last couple of months. Thanks, Armin. Yeah, I'm surprised why that person said that, because I know you've been like watching the streams for a long time, so I'm surprised. But either way, that's fine. Everyone will have their own personal experience with it. The analysis that I perform and the trades that I actually am able to execute myself, those are two very different things as well. We can, there are plenty of trades that I analyze with the strategy and point out, but I'm not actually able to take myself. So these ones, just caught the short end of the stick a little bit, at least with how long this is taking. Please let me know if there are any questions. I wanted to jump on tonight and do a trade review, some of the existing positions as well as some of the positions that were sent this morning during the London session analysis. Ben, good evening. He says went long at 5100. That looks nice on the retest here. That was exactly the right level to look for, I think. That was the break and retest. Okay. Are you planning to close? Yeah, at this stage I'm holding, Barry. At this stage I'm holding. This is going to be a head and shoulders now, watch. You heard it here first. Left shoulder, neckline, head, neckline, right shoulder. Nvidia is going to be the catalyst. Do you think that gold will ever go back to the $2,500 to $3,500 range? That is a good question. 3,500 maybe, 2,500 I don't think so, no. I think there'll be a correction, but not as low as 2,500 again. Since half a year, you're around 450 to 470. My friend, I think you are worrying too much, but thank you for the concern. Time to stack more algo. I don't know why that keeps dropping. It's is pretty painful, but what can you do? I mean, you just been absolutely, like this monthly chart, for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, I don't see how much worse it can really get, which I've been thinking for a while, but even so. What goes down must come up, right? So the resulting karmic effect of this eventually is going to be the most violent impulse to the upside. But 7 months of selling off there. If NAS is going to dump, then BTC follows. So best to wait on adding if we think NAS is dumping. Yeah, I'm not going to buy any more crypto for not until I see some kind of recovery, because the fear and greed index is still very low. It's at 8 now. Last week was 10. Yesterday was 5. But last month was still quite a high reading of extreme fear at 25. And I feel like as that figure starts to come down, like the average, the median, then well, the bounce is hopefully on the horizon. But these are some very low readings we're getting historically. Look, we're all the way at the bottom now. But yeah. Total market cap here for crypto. Max Payne, 1.7 trillion. There you go. That's the predictions. Okay, everyone, I'm going to leave it there for tonight. We did some trade reviews. And as you can see, otherwise the only thing on the agenda is holding through some more trades. Nvidia earnings coming up in the evening, or like tomorrow officially. So we'll see how that translates onto the NAS, and also holding Euro USD. Thank you very much for joining, everyone. I wish you all a great evening ahead. I will see you tomorrow for the London session stream in the Discord. Thank you, everyone, and good